Ever felt like you're not enough, no matter how much you learn, do, or prove? What if the real answer isn't in doing more, but in trusting what's already inside of you? Welcome to a journey through the 48th evolutionary pattern of change, where we explore the shadow of inadequacy, the gift of resourcefulness by transmuting it, and the grace of wisdom, all through the lens of the shadow work and true self-discovery. Before I get into it, I will share a parable on the whisper beneath the well. At this point, please close your eyes and visualize the story I am about to share. There was once a land where wisdom was scarce and questions were feared. In this land, there was a well, hidden beneath the village square, sealed by stone and silence. The villagers lived above it, unaware of its presence, passing their lives, solving shallow problems with louder opinions. No one questioned much. It was safer that way. But one day a young girl named Eleanor began to feel a strange pull. She couldn't stop wondering about things no one asked. Why did the elders repeat things they didn't understand? Why did fear rule even the quietest moments? She began to dig, not because she was brave, but because she couldn't ignore the whisper in her chest. The others warned her, "You'll waste your life chasing what doesn't exist. There are no answers in the unknown, only madness." But Eleanor dug, through ridicule, through loneliness, through the ache of never knowing if anything would come of it, until one morning the stone gave way, and the water rose, dark, silent, ancient. But in its reflection, she saw herself fully, not just as she was, but as she had always been, capable, whole, and deep. The well hadn't just held water, it held wisdom, waiting for someone willing to listen deeply enough. And so the whisper became a voice, hers. This is the shadow of the 48th evolutionary pattern of change, the challenge of inadequacy, not as a flaw, but as an invitation. In the 48th evolutionary pattern of change, we confront one of the most persistent human illusions, that we're not enough, not smart enough, not prepared enough, not emotionally capable enough. This is not a rational fear. It's genetic, embedded in our DNA as part of our collective human evolution. It emerges as a subtle tension in the body, a hesitation before speaking one's truth, a delay in trusting your next step, a loop of self-questioning that never quiets. The shadow of inadequacy is paired with the shadow of control. It's its complement with its fear of truly living a full life, its repressive nature of becoming submissive, and the reactive nature of being controlling. So you can see how these two dance together to keep us under submission, so that we don't question the status quo. But that is the test to see if the answers that lie within our well are required to surface, to stir the pond of mass consciousness, so it doesn't become stagnant. This is the same thing that Christ did long ago regarding the old doctrines. He stirred the pot of consciousness to remind us of the eternal love and wisdom we are here to exude, even in the face of dogma and fundamentalism, especially even science, where it dares not go, and that is into the mystic arts and how to integrate divine sciences into the everyday science that we explore now. For those interested in doing deeper personal alchemy and wish to have a means of accelerating an understanding of shadow work, Over the last 3 to 5 years, I have collected a wealth of information from various esoteric systems, namely the I Ching, human design, gene keys, the chakra systems, and astrology, as well as integrating them with the human genetic code. And in this chart, you will find the details of all the different shadows, all the different fears, the specific fears that fuel those specific shadows, all 64, all in relationship to each codon. And in this wheel, you will find 4 legends on each corner because they can't all fit on one corner or one side to make it a nice, evenly balanced square. So here is the statements from each zodiac sign, so you can see. And then we have the legend for each chakra. You'll notice that there are more than 7, and because there are more than 7, because it is including the spleen as a means to detect threats. So there's an intuitional center there. There's also a center of willpower called the thyroid, because when we are born, the thyroid is literally almost, if not as big as our heart. So we have to accommodate that. And on the other side of this, you will also find an understanding of the I Ching, hexagram system, the different trigrams, the relationship to the three-dimensional plane, the yin and the yang, and how each of the 6 lines are affiliated with different archetypes, thanks to the human design and or gene key system. And lastly, you will also find the human genetic sequence chart for all the amino acids associated with the human genetic code. But furthermore, you will also find in this chart all the different zodiacs, all 12, mixed with the human design gene key chart. Bear with me, my graphics card is not as fast as other people's on their computer, but you will see all the different fears, all the different shadows, and how they relate to each chakra in those colorful little dots. So you can see how it affects each energy center in the body and how each of them have their own repressive and reactive statements because there are 6 expressions in each challenge. Therefore, you will also find those 6 lines in there, all with their own repressive and reactive statements, their associated dilemmas from that specific shadow, which eventually will clear up, the gift from making the right choices regularly and practicing that gift with its own unique self-empowerment statement. So as you learn to vacate the trapped emotions such as sadness, fear, anger, shame, and guilt, and you reorient towards true self-alignment and honoring the intuition and inner authority that you possess, it will lead you towards the grace specific to that challenge. So if you would like to learn more about this and or you would like to download this file for your own personal means of translating your specific challenges in the human design system or in the gene key system, it is all there for you. All you have to go is to my website and download this PDF file. It's about 50 megabytes in size. I hope you enjoy this and hope you enjoy this brief glimpse into this massive PDF with all the details about all the specific challenges you'll have in your personal self-realization path. In order to find this PDF, a link will be found down below in the description of the YouTube video. When using that elaborate and vast chart of information, you can use the human design apps found in the App Store on Google Play so that you can choose whichever speaks to you most. And as you choose whichever human design app works best for you, you can then use that towards the chart. So you get your information and your numbers. And then after that, you can use the chart as reference For example, I use the Human Design app, which helps me see the specific numbers that I need to see in the top right-hand corner. The red are the unconscious. These are the ones that were imprinted when the soul decided to remain anchored in the body about 90 days before you were born, between the second and the third trimester. The black numbers indicate the conscious, more aware challenges that you know you have in your current life, based on your survival challenges and your adversities currently going on in your life. You can also find that same application in the Human Design App Store for iPhone and or iOS before you start using the chart that you have purchased online. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more information on this and you wanted a free consultation in understanding the current challenges in your life and how it relates to human design, feel free to reach out through the links below. You can also visit thegenekeys.com. There, you will also find a different kind of chart. It relates to the same challenges and same numerical sequences as found in the I Ching and Human Design. And there you'll be able to find a free profile link where you can then enter in your personal information in this field and then have a look at your specific gene key profiles and understand your genus sequence, your Venus sequence in opening up your heart, your love sequence, prosperity, and finding inner harmony. Thank you for watching this short introduction into the Wheel of Evolutionary Change and the chart that I've shown you in brief. And hopefully through those apps and through this PDF, you will find a way to decode the challenges you face and understand how to make the best choices for you and everyone you are meant to impact positively in your life. Now back to the shadow work and the evolutionary change in this video. The shadow of inadequacy doesn't come to punish you, it comes to prepare you, to guide you towards a deeper kind of intelligence, one that doesn't come from books or certifications, but from your essence and presence, from embodiment, from a willingness to descend into your inner well. This 48th challenge makes a home in the splenic region of the energy body, a center tied to instinct, to survival. It's biological, it's ancient. It evolved to keep us safe from the unknown. But in our modern lives, the unknown isn't always danger. Sometimes it's truth. So when this fear arises, it tells us, don't go there. You're not ready. But it's lying in the only way fear knows how, by trusting to protect what no longer needs protecting. That's why the path of this specific evolutionary pattern of change is not one of fixing. It's a path of listening deeper than the fear itself. Those who walk with this 48th challenge are not broken. They are well walkers. The void within them isn't empty. It's full of potential that hasn't been voiced yet, full of insight that hasn't found form. In fact, the deeper the feeling of inadequacy, the greater the capacity for wisdom waiting to be revealed. This is the gift of resourcefulness, not cleverness, not knowing everything, but the ability to trust the timing of wisdom, to navigate the unknown by intuition and not control. And eventually, for those who surrender deeply, comes the grace of wisdom, not learned, but lived, not performed, but radiated. In a world obsessed with fast answers and surface level confidence, the 48th pattern of evolutionary change offers a sacred contradiction. It asks, will you dare admit that you don't know? Because in that moment of surrender, your fear softens and something higher moves through you anyway. The shadow of inadequacy isn't a barrier, it's a threshold, one that leads not to external success, but internal sovereignty. To shift from fear to love is not a leap, it's remembering that what we seek has always lived in us, beneath the doubt, beneath the silence, waiting, like a well beneath a quiet village. So if you ever felt the ache of not knowing enough, if you've held back your voice out of fear you might be wrong, you're not alone. You are exactly where this pattern of evolutionary challenge begins, not with answers, but with the willingness to stay and listen. Down in the description below, you'll find more about this shadow. You'll also find a couple of links. One to my email in case you wish consultation on this or the other shadows that may be most challenging to transmute. And there's my website link so you can learn more about me, what I do, how I do it, and why. Then there are 3 support links for different support groups, one for divination systems such as the gene keys and human design that tie into the I Ching but for modern application. The other is emotional intelligence and mastery, so you can learn more about the emotions and the motivating intelligence they have to offer us to integrate. And lastly, emotional trauma release group, so we can let go of the fears that we've kept inside that keep us thinking in the loop that we're not enough, or that we're not prepared enough, or that we should not listen to that inner voice that's challenging us to try something different. And trusting that inner knowing that you have the wisdom to guide yourself through life, as well as possibly guiding others to their inner well of wisdom. The emotional trauma release group is a safe space for us to let go so we can embody or at least create an opening to access our inner wisdom and realize what we've learned from our pain, our suffering, and our trauma so we can heal it and share our stories and our wisdom with others that have gone through something similar and are not sure that they can ever live a fully liberating, exciting, self-fulfilling life. Thank you for allowing me to take you on this journey and for watching this video in its entirety. I appreciate the time you've taken to watch this video. God bless you on your journey. Namaste, and good life to you all.